Still using a spreadsheet to track your networking when you're looking for a job, but feel like it's not cutting it? You're right. Your spreadsheet isn't cutting it. I'm Doug Lester, a career strategist and executive coach. I used to work at a top 20 executive search firm, and my job was all about networking. Now, I coach MBAs and alumni at a top business school and leaders and managers at Fortune 100 companies. One of the most important things I do is help my clients figure out how to build their networks effectively. And if I've learned anything about networking when I was an executive recruiter, it's that you need to have a system. That system should help you keep track of basic details about people, like their name, title, company, email, phone number, and LinkedIn profile. Prompt you to reach out to your contacts or follow up with them at specific times or on a specific schedule. And make it easy to keep track of details about people in your network and the conversations and the interactions you have with them. When I left executive search and went out on my own to become a coach, I realized that I needed to get a system of my own if I was going to build a network for my business. And I knew a spreadsheet wasn't going to cut it. Sure, a spreadsheet can do a decent job with the basic details of networking for at least a little while, but over time, things can get messy. You need some serious Excel skills if you're going to create a system that prompts you to follow up with people on specific dates or on a specific schedule, let's say every 2 months. And the time you spend doing all the back-end work to set things up in Excel could be better spent reaching out to people and having conversations that might help you get a job or advance your career, or in my case, build a business. And I think we all know that Excel just isn't the place to keep a lot of written notes. It just isn't. So I tried a lot of solutions over 10 years, and nothing seemed to feel right. I was looking for a personal CRM with features I had gotten used to as an executive recruiter, something that I could use every day to help build my business and also recommend to the people I coach. The problem was that all of the CRMs I found were either geared toward people in serious sales roles, they were too expensive, or both. And the language was all wrong for networking that's focused on getting a job or advancing your career. For building relationships, I didn't feel comfortable recommending a tool to my clients that was based on pipelines and closing deals. It just didn't make sense to me. So a few years ago, I read about Cove. It's a personal CRM that's focused on building relationships and keeping them strong. I had finally found a CRM that wasn't focused on sales funnels and deals, and it syncs seamlessly with my phone and any contact system I might use. In my case, that's Google Contacts. So it was easy to get started. Cove has helped me collect the basic information I need for my contacts, schedule specific times to reach out to them, and it reminds me to stay in touch with them and helps me keep track of the details of the conversations and interactions I've had with them. I signed up for Cove when it was a fairly new app and not as fully developed as it is now. Along the way, Cove's founder, their CEO, and the product team have reached out to me for my thoughts about my experience using Cove and how it can be improved. They really seem to value users' input, and they're always introducing changes that make the app easier to use and more effective in helping me build the meaningful relationships with the people in my business network and in my personal life too. That's right, I use it for both. I've been using Cove for a while now, and here's a secret. It's just as useful for helping me keep in touch with my family and friends and helping me remember what's going on in their lives as it is for helping me to keep up with my business contacts. Since I've been using Cove, I hardly ever find myself saying, "Wow, when was the last time we were in touch?" Or, "What did we talk about last time?" Cove helps me stay in touch with the important people in my life and remember the things about them that count, like the names of their family members, where their kids decided to go to college, or the name of their dog. Are you really going to do all of that in software that forces you to put people into sales funnels? I recommend Cove to the people I coach because it's the most effective personal CRM option that I found after 10 years of looking, and it's always getting better. If you'd like to give Cove a try, use the link below or in the description. You can try it for free and get a 15% discount on an annual plan, and a portion of your subscription will help support me and the content I create, like this video or my blog posts about networking at careernarratives.com. The links are in the description for this video. If you do sign up, here's one tip for getting started that I wish I had known. Once you sync the contacts on your phone, in my case, that's my Google contacts, you can create what Cove calls a relationship with one of your contacts. When you create a relationship, it means that you're choosing a schedule to keep in touch with that person, maybe every year, every month, or even every week. If that amount of time passes since the last contact you've tracked in Cove, then the app will remind you that you're losing touch with that person. I personally find that this is the single most useful feature in Cove. I'm not always worrying that there are people connected to my business or in my personal life that I'm forgetting about. When the time comes to reach out, Cove reminds me. Cove also allows you to track the number of relationships you've created right at the top of the home screen. It's kind of like tracking your connections or followers on LinkedIn or other social media channels. It's kind of fun and motivating to see that number go up when you first get started. But here's the tip I wish I had known when I first got started with Cove. It's best not to go overboard with adding relationships. Getting a handful of reminders each week that you're losing touch with the people in your network can be a good thing. But getting too many, well, that can be overwhelming or even demotivating. When I was an executive recruiter and networking was my main job, I knew I could only be in touch with so many people simultaneously. That was a lot of people. Now that I'm running a business, I don't have as much time. So ask yourself these two questions before you choose to create a relationship in Cove for a contact. Will I regret not being in touch with this person over the next year? If the answer to that question is yes, then ask yourself this next question before you add the relationship in Cove. What is the minimum ideal number of times I need to be in touch with this person to either build a new relationship or keep it strong? It will likely vary by the type of contact we're talking about. Be honest with yourself about this one. Sure, it can feel good to say, I'm going to reach out to this person every month or every quarter. But the demands of your work and your life may only allow you to make that kind of decision for so many people in your network. Be realistic. Target a number of relationships in Cove that you're comfortably able to manage, and you know the demands of your life best. So I'll leave that decision about how many people to you. I'll be making more videos that cover best practices in networking, how I've used Cove to support my relationships in my business and my life, and how you might use Cove in yours when you're networking, looking for a job, trying to build a strong professional network, or just trying to remember the name of your friend's dog. In the meantime, consider giving Cove a try. Use the link below or in the description. See you soon.